I'm not gonna lie. I thought the game was over. They're down 10-0 early. I think, all right, it's a wrap. Then they battle back, stand back, big touchdown changes the momentum. You see the belief. Then they get stuffed going into halftime. Could have got points, didn't get a major or a score period. I'm like, you missed an opportunity. It's a wrap. But each time they continued to come back and give themselves an opportunity at the end of the game. And this is, remember, an Alouette team, when we're talking about defense, had literally no success against Winnipeg's defense in the regular season. And didn't score against them in the regular season. But Cody Fajardo, when he had to make big plays in the passing game, was able to do it. Gets his first win over Zach Collaros, but the defense won it. But offensively, Cody Fajardo won it with his arm.
Absolutely.
Especially after Stanback got hurt.
That's right. That's right. He won it with his arm. And more than anything, I think we sat here, we talked about, and Marsh mentioned even how important it would be for Cody Fajardo to have a better game. I think after his first game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, we talked about, I think he had about 212 yards passing, and then he played against the Toronto Argonauts, and he had 175 yards. And we sat here and we talked about how he needed to up his game if they wanted to win that game. We're not taking anything away from defense because they won that game because of defense, but Cody Fajardo and that Montreal offense stepped their game up and they improved, and that made the difference in that game. DB, I have to talk about that moment. It was a big hit, but I thought it really set the tone and it brought a lot of life and energy into the game at one point where Lalu Guak, when he hit Brady Oliveira, I thought it was electrifying. I was on the sideline at that point, and you could just feel like the momentum was just shifting and the belief was only increasing. And I think there were pivotal plays in that game that completely energized the Montreal Alouettes, and that was one of them. And it was amazing to see the confidence that was shown by that defense from the beginning of the game all the way until the end.
Everyone's going to remember the throws Fajardo made. He made some key gains with his legs.
Yes.
Yeah, backed up in their own territory, needed to give them a shot for second and manageable, third and manageable. His ability to scramble was massive. So you look at him in the playoffs this year on this run that he's gone on. Everyone said, during the regular season, led the league in completion percentage, but how often are you even throwing at or beyond the sticks? Dink and dunk. He's all right, but he's not real. In the playoffs, he was real. 3-0, obviously. Completes 73% of his balls for 225 passing yards per game. 6 TDs, 3 INTs. Again, against the Tiger Cat defense, your Argonaut defense, and the Blue Bombers defense. He played lights out. But I think the other thing for me was, you can't throw it to yourself. Ask Patrick Mahomes this morning. You need some help at the receiver position. This is a team, our biggest question going into the year was, who will they have at the receiver position? Geno Lewis, arguably the best in the game.
Gone.
Winicky, one of the best complimentary receivers in the game.
Gone.
But Austin Mack steps up. 7 targets, 6 receptions. Tyson Philpott, young Canadian. 8 targets, 6 receptions. And then your boy Cole comes through. 3 targets, 3 receptions, one of the biggest catches down the sideline. Every time he needed to play, when Winnipeg was clear, like, we don't believe you. We'll go 0. We'll go 1. We'll cover you man-to-man. No, you won't. They made plays in the passing game when it was man-to-man coverage.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, he had his guys on offense truly believing, and they were going out there and making plays, tough catches over the middle, tough slant routes, hot routes, because of, like you mentioned, the pressure that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were applying. And these guys were just making plays for Cody, for their quarterback. And it was just amazing to see. When he needed to, you talked about his legs, but sometimes it wasn't even just the running itself, just to buy an extra second after the pressure was being applied by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I think those are key things that help offenses be successful over defenses that bring a lot of pressure, and he did just that. Sometimes it's just a couple of steps stepping away from the open blitzer or the extra blitzer, and he did that just enough times to make the plays that needed to be made at crucial times.
No play more crucial than the throw to Tyson Philpott.
Man,
Get him in the end zone. We talked to him on the Waggle, and we asked him, listen, when you win the cup, your phone's going to blow up. Now, we didn't know he was going to have the game-winning score. His phone was really going to blow up.
MOC.
And be the MOC. But he said what he was going to say to his bro was up one. Well, he said up one for sure.